Last weekend we did a live stream reaction to Creator Clash, and it did pretty well. So I figured, why not react to my first ever MMA fight? So keep in mind, this is the only footage I could really find of the fight, and it was actually one of my opponent's, like, I guess family members had live streamed the fight. That's me. This was actually 2.5 years ago. Yeah, give him a hug to my boys. In the background, that's my buddy Jake. He was a nurse. And then my other friend named Peyton. Neither of these guys know anything about fighting. At the time, I was a garage fighter. So basically what that means is I wasn't training out of a gym. People at a gym didn't set up this fight for me. I actually approached the guy who was setting up the fights, the promoter, and it was like, hey, I want to fight. Can I get a fight in? And he just got me up there, and I ended up fighting this guy who was 1-0. He had actually won a fight right before this. His name was Ben. I really like the guy now. At the time, I did not. He's coming out right now. You could probably see from this why I was a little irritated with the guy. Where's he at? There he goes. He walks out right, and he's just literally dancing. And let me go ahead and pause this. I think it's important to note that right before these fights, we had to do our standoffs, right? And when me and him were standing off, we were doing it in front of the crowd that's here now. And whenever he came out to come, face off against me, he came up to me like this, and then went like that to try and like fake me out. And so at this point in time, I had a lot of animosity for the guy. And then the dude comes out and does this. So you may notice that his shirts look a little baggy. He is in fact wearing at least 10 shirts, and then he goes to throw it into the crowd. These shirts are his sponsors, so everyone that was like sponsoring for the fight, I think, or it was for his own company. He is a tattoo artist. He's actually really good too. I have seen some of his artwork after we got done fighting because we added each other on Facebook and everything. And he's actually really good at like painting. He does like actual Bob Ross paintings. Yeah, and he's just throwing the shirts off into the crowd, dude. He literally, like, he has like 10 shirts on. He's still taking them off. And as you can see, these are his coaches walking down here. And these guys were not like my cornermen. These were actual coaches and knew what the hell they were talking about. Mine didn't, but fortunately we still got the dub. But it was a freaking battle, as you guys will see here in a moment. And as you can see, he's still dancing around the ring here. I'm in the corner trying to get warmed up over there. If you guys are wondering, I'm in the red corner, he's in the blue corner. When we were in the back getting ready for the fights, they actually have both, like, people who are going to be in the red corner and people who are going to be in the blue corner. They have them, like, separated off. And that's mainly because they don't want people, like, literally getting into a fight before the fight starts.
187 pounds, introducing first, fighting out of the Hot Shots red corner. He stands 6 feet tall, weighed in at 185 pounds. He is a kickboxer from Jonesboro, Arkansas. It's Chase the Demon Cliff.
You can barely even see me. Yeah, I told him to call me the Demon. I guess that's my fighting nickname now. I wasn't prepared when they asked me that question, but I felt like the Demon was the right name. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Me sitting here just watching this, my heart's already starting to kind of palpitate. It's a weird thing with fighting, man. I hate to use the term PTSD, but even when I'm watching like regular MMA fighting, and especially when I watch clips of my fight, my heart starts racing. My palms are literally sweating right now. I'm about to throw up mom's spaghetti. But I don't know, man. It's not necessarily a feeling of fear. It's more of a feeling of excitement. But I figured I would go ahead and note that real quick. All right, here we go. Action started. Look at that. Touch glove and back off. Dr. Mike, take notes right here. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Boom. Look at that. Solid full second before we even throw a punch. I'm just kidding. I'm giving Dr. Mike a hard time. All right, we start getting into it. Ben's doing this weird thing with his arms. He did that the whole fight, by the way. I'm going for his legs. My main thing with him this whole fight was to go for his legs. And so you'll see here, I'll get a lot of leg kicks in the first couple rounds, like a lot. He wasn't even trying to protect him because I don't think he knew I was going for that. Right here is where he comes in. Now, I'll pause. My hands, I'll go ahead and note this. I actually at this time hadn't done a lot of boxing training. I was just kind of getting into it, and it was more of kickboxing style. After this fight, I actually spent a good amount of months with an army boxer. The army has its own little thing going with boxing, its own division. I remember his name was Jaleel, and he actually, for a few months, came and helped me with my boxing, taught me how to do a Philly roll properly, taught me how to do peekaboo style a little bit more properly, and he cleaned me up a lot. So shout out to Jaleel if you ever watch this. But as you can see, I'll drop my hands a lot in this fight. Like right there, I shouldn't be doing that. Threw another kick, dodged the punch. I was relying a lot on head work, but it was very ignorant on my part. Right here, he's about to smack me, and now a lot of people in that instance tend to kind of back up once you get smacked. For some reason, I'm not that kind of individual. As soon as I get smacked, I stand still, I plant, and I throw a punch, as you can see here. So right here, smacks me up, I plant, and then I just punch him in the face. And then boom! That's my favorite punch of the fight. Yeah, and then right here where I'm messing up a lot is I'm panicking and I'm just trying to go for a takedown, which I get all these takedowns and everything. He reverses it on me. Let me see him reverse it. He doesn't really reverse it, but he flips over, and then I sneak out and then take his back, which I did a lot of Jiu Jitsu work here, and then I go for guard, which all of that's good and dandy, but it wasted so much freaking energy, dude. Yeah, at this point, we're grappling on the ground. He decides to get up, and so we just stand up. A lot of the first 2 rounds are all standing. We just decided to go after it. And then as soon as we get back up, I've always been taught you want to keep the center of the ring. That's how you gain points overall if you don't end up knocking them out. But basically what that does is it puts pressure on your opponent, and then they have to end up circling out on the defensive, and it keeps me on the offensive. I also just really don't want to give him a chance to breathe, so I'm coming back in and at least getting in some punches while he's trying to recover. You're coming back in, and I'm still kind of running on rage. And you'll see I keep dropping my hands. But every time, I swear to God, every time his corner said, put your hands up, I put my hands up because it reminded me. But again, at the time, I hadn't had a lot of like defensive boxing training at the time. At this point, we're getting a little tired. I'm trying to just kind of bide my time. I kept whacking the shit out of his leg, dude. That was a little bit of a haymaker that shouldn't have been thrown, but, you know, I recovered. Again, a lot of what I learned from this is I should have paced myself better. I ran out of energy after the third round, or after the second round. Yeah, at this point, we're just kind of gauging. I pop him in the face. I remember that punch, actually. Yeah, see, I didn't take him down that time all the way, mainly because I just didn't want to waste that energy. I'm starting to get real tired here, which it should be wrapping up. Yeah, it's the last 10 seconds of the first round. We're just kind of keeping each other at distance, throwing some stupid kicks. I threw a really stupid kick right there. You should not ever throw a kick like that unless you can see your opponent behind you. And at this point, we're both just kind of keeping our distance. We're not really wanting to engage because we're wanting to go ahead and take that break as much as possible. But yeah, I'm still going for those leg kicks. Because you don't have to be in like punching range to throw a kick. You know what I mean? Ooh, I wish I would have clipped him with that. I was practicing with a lot of overhands for this fight, but I threw way too many. See, like right there, pushed me over easy. I shouldn't have done that at all. But luckily I got another takedown. No, he got the takedown on that one. That's right, he rolled me over. But there's the bell, saved by the bell. It would have been really hard to get him off of me at that point. So at this point, you get about 30 seconds in your corner to go ahead and just kind of get some oxygen back. At this point, I really need to talk about this. His opponent, my opponent, had like all these like ice bags and water bottles and all this stuff. We literally didn't bring anything. This was my first fight and I didn't have a team with me. So we literally used the t-shirt I came with as a rag and a warm water bottle that wasn't even cold. And we used that to ice me down in between rounds. All right, going into round 2, it looks like. And I remember this was a pretty explosive round with me as well. The first 2 rounds were what won me the fight. They were, like, for sure I won those rounds. So, after that, the third round's when we're both so tired. And I think his grappling got the better of me on that one. But you can see we're both kind of staying back. I'm still going straight for his legs. And you'll see he's starting to switch his legs out. Yeah, because he keeps putting that leg out in front of me. I kick him with the other leg. And that was just straight from me kicking him. I didn't even punch him to get him knocked down like that. Threw a really good jab right there. It disrupted my pattern. And you can see I throw a lot of feints, like I'm acting like I'm about to throw a kick. Reason for that is because I know he's scared of it, so he's going to react. And I still get him with the kicks. And I got him with another kick, a switch kick. Right there, man. Because he's not really paying attention to his legs. He's worried about getting hit in the face, but eventually you have to, man. You don't really get a choice. Because he's getting to the point where he's having a hard time walking. There's a good body kick. Crossed my way out of there, but I'm getting a little bit too close with those kicks. Good teep to the body. My hands are way down, but I'm a good enough distance away to keep them down, but right there. I remember that punch. It smacked me silly, dude. I literally saw stars. I remember going, oh, and seeing nothing but white for a second. Yeah, luckily he didn't come in with that, and I was able to recover from that. But if he would have come in with that, he could have ended the fight right there. Again, all because I keep keeping my hands down, but I've definitely worked on that. Let me go back on that. That was one of those shitty kicks. I want you to watch and see how telegraphed that is. Look, you could see that coming from a mile away, and he still missed me. Luckily, otherwise he would have hit the back of my head, which you can't do that, obviously, but again, I gotta keep my hands up. I keep throwing these punches out so he's reaching for him so I can bait him a little bit. Yeah, keep switching his legs out, and I just, whatever leg's in the front, I'm going for the kick.
Come on, man.
Nice little repeat out of there. And we're tired. At this point, you're really, really tired. I just heard that. His kids were there. I beat up a dad in front of his kids. It's okay. He honestly beat my ass too. I'm not going to take that away from him. I was fucked up after the fight. He actually does kind of get me here in a second. Like, I remember he starts just kind of doing some really good inboxing. Like, he gets real close, throwing some good hooks. Like, right there. There it is. And he's real tight, and then he grabs me, and fortunately enough, I've had enough wrestling and Jiu Jitsu practice to be able to get out of this. Watch what I do. I just roll right back over him, and then I'm on top. Again, if he hadn't have done that, I would probably be in trouble. Luckily it did. I'm trying right now. I remember doing this too. I'm trying to get a hold of his arm so that I can put him in something called an Americana or a figure four arm, whatever the fuck. I always call it an Americana. But yeah, it's not fun, but he does something actually really unique. I've never seen this before. I've never actually trained with anyone who's ever done this. But he rolls out of the Americana. I didn't have my hips all the way down on the ground because I was trying to crank it so much. But he was able to flip over, but from that, I just start pummeling on him because I know the end of the round's coming. So I'm just trying to knock him out because I don't want to go a third round. I hear that clack, watch me, and I just start going, no, I want him down! I don't want to do this again! Yeah, I'm literally so tired, dude. I just collapsed right there. And I still have another round after that. Keep that in mind. I'll never forget that feeling of, like, going to my corner after that second round and just thinking, I remember thinking to myself, going, I have no idea how I'm going to get through this next round, but here we go. Going into the third round, we're both extremely exhausted. I do know this from later talking to Ben, that at this point he was barely able to walk on his legs, and he's actually got a lot better boxing going on right now than me, because I'm just so freaking tired. Yeah, got me with a really good hook, but he knocked himself down, and then I try and go get on top of him, and then from here, it's literally just a hugging match, because we're so freaking tired. Oh, the hammer fist. The hammer fist. His coach saying hammer fist will forever haunt me in my dreams. I cannot get it out of my head. And look, we're just like laying on top of each other. We can't even hardly do anything. I kept trying to roll him off of me, man, but there was just no way. I had no oxygen left in my body. I was trying. I legitimately was like, it's like being in a dream and fighting. You know, if you guys have ever been in a dream, Ben right here is trying to hit me with some hammer fist, but he wasn't succeeding very well. He did manage to cut my eye open at one point. I did have to get stitches up here. But other than that, there wasn't a lot that really happens this round. We're just kind of like laying on each other going, And I think the only reason Ben really won this round is because he stood on top of me the whole time. And since he had his weight on me, I just could not get up. But again, going back to like how this is a lot like a fighting in a dream, it just feels like everything you do is so slow and it takes all your energy. It's such a wild sensation. It's at times like this, when I was feeling like this is the reason I have so much respect for someone like Ryan McKee. When he went those 5 rounds in Creator Clash, like, dude, I understand how that feels. Like, it feels so bad. The only thing you're thinking about is, like, breathing. That's all you can possibly think about. And, you know, by the end of it, though, you're ready to just go home. You don't even care if you win or lose. But yeah, this is basically what it looks like for the remainder of the round. Let me see if I can skip towards the end, maybe. Yeah, see, we're still right here. Yeah, we literally don't have any energy. I remember I was trying to, like, hit up at him like this, because he's, like, kind of over me a little bit, and I was just trying to whack at his face with, like, a hammer fist, because that's what I was hearing, and it was his corner. But at that point, it was the end of the fight. When you're an amateur MMA fighter, you only go 3 3-minute rounds. But I'm telling you, man, that's definitely plenty enough. I mean, I was worn out.
All right, y'all, that was the most intense fight we have seen so far.
That was a pretty good fight. I'm going to give him credit for that, man. I gotta say, dude, afterwards, me and Ben, like, message each other on Facebook and everything, and we're all cool now. I honestly think he's a really cool guy, and again, he does some really, really, really cool artwork. And this is when they were doing, like, the decision, you know, like, telling who won the fight and everything. And at this point, I was thinking I might have lost the fight. I really was thinking that, because you don't know how you did, like...
All 3 judges are in agreement, scoring about 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision in the red corner, Chigel.
Yeah! Hell yeah. And if you can see through these people right here, you can barely see me, but me and Ben actually hugged it out right there. I mean, after that, it was all good blood.
Chase Cliff, don't run off just yet.
Oh yeah, this is when they made me talk on the mic. Are they going to show it?
I won't hold you up very long. Great fight out here. You took it to the distance. That's always a sign of both.
Oh, it ends right there? Damn. Bro, I was so tired. I'll never forget that. Like, I remember him talking to me, and then I immediately, like, walked off the stage. Funny enough, my grandparents actually drove out, like 3 or 4 hours to come see the fight, and they were right there. And, you know, that's when the medics come and, like, see you, make sure you're all okay. And I had a gash right here and everything. And my grandma was looking at, like, the medic and going, you make sure he gets fixed. And then after that, I went and walked out towards the crowd. And I remember Alex, my girlfriend, came running up and gave me a hug. And, you know, she was crying and everything. And I remember her saying, I love you, I gotta go. As soon as I let her go, that's when the concussion headaches started setting in. Bro, I'll never forget that. I'll say this once, I said this once, I'll say it again. They never talk about the amount of pain you feel after the fight. You never get to see it on camera. It's always after they go back into the locker rooms and when the adrenaline drops off. Bro, I've never felt that bad. Besides whenever I had the cyst. The cyst was pretty bad. But anyways, guys, that's my fight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't think I had actually shown you guys the actual full fight as long as I've had this channel. When will I fight again? I don't really know, but I promise you guys will be the first people to hear about it. If you like this content and you want to see some more stuff like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Really helps a lot. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, motherfuckers.